Hello everyone and welcome to one of the most spectacular heritage railways in the world, Šargan Eight. Today, this is the tourist railway that operates in western part of Serbia, called Mokra Gora. What makes it spectacular is the marvelous track design with a gradient of maximum 18 promiles, on a stretch of around only 15 kilometers, minimum curve radius of 120 meters, steam locomotive, and of course track design that creates number 8. So let's see how it looks like and dig a bit into the history of this railway. Šargan Eight is a part of narrow gauge railway that was built before and during First World War between the cities of Užice in Serbia and Visegrad in Bosnia, in that time part of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy. Railway line is officially opened in 1925 and was running for 49 years as a part of the famous narrow gauge train called Čira. After 49 years, in 1974, everything went silent. Decision is made that steam train will stop the service between stations Titovo Užice and Visegrad. There was a massive exodus of people who went to bigger cities, and stations and tracks were removed or just left for oblivion, including an ingenious architectural monument of railway constructors from the beginning of 20th century. There was an idea and initiative that one part of railway network between station Mokra Gora and Visegrad remain as open sky museum railway, but the initiative is not accepted. After more than 20 years of silence, slow decay of stations and tracks, as locals often say, the miracle has happened. There was a large initiative from the locals and all the lovers of steam trains and narrow gauge railways to renew this railway as a tourist railway. Finally, in 1999, Serbian Railways made a decision to renew this railway line. The locals always mention one prophecy, which is called Mitar's prophecy. A lot of years will pass and people will still remember the iron railway and they will rebuild this road. Only it will not be used to travel to Visegrad for special purposes and traveling, but the people who want entertainment, careless enjoyment and pleasure. And it happened. In 2003, the Šargan Eight tourist railway line is officially opened between stations Mokra Gora and Šargan Vitasi, and in 2010 the railway line is opened all the way to Visegrad in Bosnia. So let's see some characteristics of this line and what is that special about it. Beside the fact that it's passing through magnificent landscapes, this is amazing projects from the track design side, especially for that time. The railway line length between Mokra Gora and Šargan Vitasi is 15.5 kilometers. Now please take attention because the facts are amazing. There are 22 tunnels, 10 bridges. The longest tunnel is 1.6 kilometers. Highest gradient is 18 promiles with average gradient 16 promiles. Difference in heights between starting station and end station is around 240 meters. Please note that this is only on the stretch of 15 kilometers and the smallest curve radius is only 120 meters. Unbelievable. Let's examine the route and see how it looks like. We should also explain why is it called Šargan Eight. Since there was a lack of data regarding profile for each trace element, we went for a solution with Google, which is just fine for this situation. Starting station of the journey is called Mokra Gora. Along the pathway there are many curves as you can see, but also bridges and tunnels. The smallest curve radius is 120 meters as I mentioned before. Before the famous 8, which you will see later, there are two stops. One of the stops is called Golubici and the other one is very famous and it's a station called Jatare, which is very nice location. As you can see, the train goes pretty much uphill all the way from the beginning of the journey up to the end. So let's explain a little bit what is it 8 and how does it look like actually. So this is how it works. The train first passes through a station Golubici at the height of 700 meters, continues through the tunnel 41 towards Yatare station. After the Yatare station is the start of the famous 8. Train enters to the tunnel 40 at the height of 710 meters, continues through the tunnel and passes cross of the 8 at the lower level, continues through the tunnel 39 up to the tunnel 38 at the height of 733 meters. After the tunnel 38, train passes through the cross of the 8 again at the upper level, continues through the tunnel 37 and goes all the way towards Šargan Eight. You can see also that the difference in a height between the beginning of the 8 and the end of the 8 is around 50 meters, which is incredible. After passing the 8, the train continues its journey through the mountains towards the station Šargan Eight. This area is also very nice, but the most interesting thing about this area is the tunnel, which is long 1.6 kilometers. Right after the tunnel is the station Šargan Eight. At this station the train will make a small stop and will do some locomotive shunting before heading back to Mokra Gora. This lasts around 5 to 10 minutes. As I mentioned, the shunting procedure will be done here. This means that the train will be decoupled from one side of the train, will go all the way through the turnout so it can switch the track, will continue through the track towards the other side of the train, and will pass another turnout and go back to the same track where it will be again coupled to the train so it can continue its journey back to the station Mokra Gora. On the way back you will get the opportunity to have a few stops. One of the stops is cross of the 8 and the other one, which is a bit longer, is station Yatare, where you can have either a lunch or you can have a drink or just go around and see how the place looks like. Here is also a very nice waterfall. After the Yatare, train continues towards Mokra Gora and you will have one more stop at the place where you can see the love stone. I think that's how it's called, which is kind of interesting. But you continue your journey again all the way towards the mountains, the tunnels, bridges, and here you can see, which is very interesting, that you can be also between the cars and at the end of the railway cars, which is really amazing. Šargan Eight lives and attracts more than 80,000 tourists yearly, with increase every year. Ticket price for one round trip Mokra Gora Šargan Eight costs 1000 Serbian dinars, or around 8.5 euros. There are 2 trips per day. There are also trips from Mokra Gora to Visegrad, but just few times per week. In most cases, diesel locomotive is used for practical reasons, but there is possibility for steam locomotive as well. As I understood, there is possibility to rent the whole train as well. I believe that you enjoyed in this video and I'll call you to come and visit the railway. There are also many other tourist attractions around, such as Drvengrad, which is wooden city built by famous film director Emir Kusturica, mountains Zlatibor and Tara, Lake Zaovine and famous meanders of river Uvac. Until next video, thank you for your attention and please like, share, give comments and subscribe to Railgenic channel for more content.